All our councillors, Dr. Sahota, are all incompetent. We are voting for people. When these councillors get into power, when they go to Ealing Town Hall, the middle class officers do not listen to these incompetent councillors. Mr. Sharma himself should have been here this evening, but he has no respect for us, the people of Southall, the voters of Southall, because over the last 10 years, what I have noticed is the politicians that we vote into power, once they get that stick, they turn that stick against us and they start beating us with the stick. And this is the perfect example of what is happening to the sports facility here in Beaconsfield Road. No, this must not go anywhere. This belongs to the people of Southall. They deserve it. The same they're trying to do with the Young Youth Centre in Parkview Road. They want to knock down a perfectly well building so they can build flats. And when we went to that meeting, the councillors told us, and you've got to remember, we voted these councillors in, and because of COVID-19, they've been having no meetings with the residents of Southall. But yet, they always find time to take the side with the developers. They always find time for the developers so they can eat their cheap biscuits and their sandwiches because they do not have their own. Well, I have to say, shame on Mr. Sharma, shame on our councillors, and one thing that has come out of this is that we've had to now start a system where we want local people to stand as their local representatives. So we have started Ealing Independent Network because our politicians, well, you want to call them politicians, our representatives will be living locally. Now let's talk about our people, that councillors, Mr. Sharma. There's people here this evening who've been trying to call our representatives and nobody's answering our telephones. So if we cannot contact our councillors via email or the telephone, then how on earth are we supposed to contact the people that are supposed to be there to represent us? Can anybody answer my question? Anybody have any pigeons that we can send? So I believe anybody who stands in London Borough of Ealing as a candidate, I don't care for which party, they must give us their home address so we can go and knock on their doors when we're in need. What's the point of having a doctor? When you're ill, when you go knocking on his door, he doesn't open the doors for us. So why are we voting for these incompetent politicians? Are they politicians? I certainly don't think so. Because at the moment, for the last 10 odd years, they've been running away from the residents of Southall. Now they will come knock on our doors. We are here to serve. Well, I say to the politicians of Southall, come and serve us this evening. And nothing or anything should not be rebuilt at this building or nor at Park Avenue, because there's nothing wrong with these buildings. Barclay Group has been throwing millions of pounds locally to have support for themselves. And the biggest person involved, I believe, is a person called Jag Sanghera. He is the person who is selling his community out.
Yep.
Thank you everybody for coming.